Hello and welcome back to BlueTube. Today we're going to be looking into yesterday's game in the 1-0 win against Huddersfield at the John Smith Stadium. So I'll throw over to you immediately then. What are your thoughts on that one?
I was looking forward to yesterday, to be honest with you. I was really hopeful that we'd go and get through. I thought that we were going to get a...
We did.
Well, I thought it was a great game, but I thought we was going to score a few. But you know what? I'm chuffed with the result. Absolutely chuffed because, and we were talking about it earlier, weren't we? We showed up in every department yesterday and played every style of football we needed to get the result.
Yeah, we were the opposites actually. I thought that was going to be a bit more of a cagey game, a little bit of a tighter affair, and you thought that we was going to unleash on them.
Well, do you know what? In that first half, the balls we're putting into the box, we are getting closer now to scoring more goals. Led down that right-hand side.
It was an all-round performance from wasn't it?
Yeah, it was super. We'll go through the team in a minute, but every time we got forward, some of them balls across the box, we were so unlucky not to get on the end of them.
You talk about Laird, we can go through the team now. We can start with Ryan Alsop. You know, I was saying
Yeah,
to you
Ryan Alsop was in goal, yeah.
He was more like a playmaker yesterday rather than a shot stopper. Some of the passes that he was able to pick up,
They weren't just clearances and just getting the ball upfield, were they? He was picking out the player. Fantastic. And then Laird again with his control, the ability that guy's got.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks smart, yeah.
You were saying this, I mean, we've spoken about this a few times now, but I think ever since the turn of the year in that Wigan game, the form that Ethan Laird's found, he's just going from strength to strength.
Well, talking about form, leading nicely onto our two centre-backs. They're fantastic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Davies and Clara, what a partnership. I can see why Bielik's finding it hard to get back into the team, to be honest with you. Nice to see him come on at the end to shore
in
it
the
up.
midfield as well,
In midfield,
yeah, definitely.
And then Cochrane on the left-hand side. Steady Eddie, just knows his stuff.
Does what he does best.
Mr. Footballing brain. Very similar to Laird, the way he gets forward, but sort of very composed, sort of got that calming effect on him as well, hasn't he?
Well, the player that he is invaluable to any squad. You can play him anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I think I've said this before. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in goal next. He's been everywhere on the pitch, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I like him, Taylor Gardner-Hickman, actually.
And the thing I really wanted, and I was really looking forward to getting him back, Iwata.
Yes.
With Leonard.
Yeah.
Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Came on, totally transformed our midfield yesterday.
You felt the difference, didn't you?
Oh yeah. That passing game's returned properly again now.
He strings it all together, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right in the hub, right in the centre of the park, and we can only hope that it's just not too serious.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, might as well talk about that now towards like the latter stages again. That tackle, Hogg, Huddersfield player, who was a right menace through the game, to be fair. That's probably his game, isn't it?
Arguably,
right under the ref.
Yeah,
under the ref's nose.
Should have been his second yellow, really. I mean, if not a red card straight right there and then. But, I mean, we can talk about the referee, can't we? We don't want to go over it too much. I feel like it's just a standard in League One that the refereeing just isn't up to par, is it? But anyway, with that aside, I don't want it to overshadow what was an actually really decent performance.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So we're getting into the final third really well, I thought. It should have been like 3-0. Davies said in his post-match interview it could have been 3-0 at half-time. Should have been. Yeah. Should have been, really. Now, do you criticise them for not scoring or commend them for getting into those positions? And we're getting closer.
Good spin.
We're bossing it, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're
no,
bossing
absolutely. The only thing was, now I thought Lyndon Dykes had a fantastic game, especially off the ball and his work rate. Played really well, did what he should do for a player of that sort of stature. But I couldn't help but feel as though those runs down the flank from Laird and Gardner-Hickman, respectively, if Alfie May was on the end of those, he would have had a brace that game. Do you know what I mean? Those flashes across the box.
He'd have had
just
two by
missing
half-time,
that yard of pace. But it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know what's nice? And again, it goes back to what we said earlier in the season, is that you can bring these players in and they'll perform for you. They all have their own bit to give, some more than others. But Dykes is worth his place at the minute, isn't he?
Oh, I do.
I'm giving him the minutes as well. May's probably been resting a little bit because he's been putting it in. But I thought, I've got to mention Stansfield as well. He was so much better yesterday again, back to his normal self.
Didn't get a goal, but it was a handful for them.
It was a proper handful.
He was everywhere.
Proper handful, nice to see.
In the same way Lyndon Dykes was.
Yeah. Leonard alongside Iwata, thought he had a good game. Lots of traffic coming through him again. He's getting there, isn't he? I mean, the more he plays alongside him,
potential to be realised with Leonard.
We're going to be calling on him more now. Could do with Paik alongside him now, couldn't we? I don't think he's too far away. Any news on that?
No, I heard something about him being a week or so away with Williamson not too far behind, but from any actual reliable source, I haven't heard anything, so take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll probably go back to what we did against Wrexham, won't we? Leonard and either Harris or Taylor Gardner-Hickman, who, again, didn't have a bad game, I thought, yesterday.
No, like
was quite effective.
Previously mentioned, yeah, I think
it was a very good. I think the easiest way to describe how last night went was it was a really good team performance. Yeah, there were some shining examples of like individual playmaking and finishing, which we'll get onto very shortly with the goal.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was a great team performance, right back from Ryan Allsop up to up front with Stansfield, Dykes. And May, when he came, I thought, he put it all in.
Well, the chemistry that we had yesterday.
Chemistry, yes.
I think that's the key word that I'll take away.
I like that.
From the team's performance. Just everyone knew their roles. Everyone was there for one another. And it was a proper team-spirited performance that got us over the line, I think. But I have to say, from Huddersfield's perspective, I don't really think they gave us too much of a worry, did they? No.
There was that little chance when it was no goals towards the start where they had a free header, didn't they? And I thought, if that had gone in, it could have been a bit of a different thing. Yeah, straight into him. That was just like our little settling in period, wasn't it, I suppose? But they didn't create a huge amount. Their possession wasn't as poor as some of the other teams that we've played. I think we'll get onto the stats in a bit. We'll go through some of them. I know not everyone likes the stats, but Phil's gap. No, it's good to discuss.
No, stats are good. I like the stats. Gives you an idea of the game.
And I think on balance, the stats reflected the game it was yesterday. It wasn't loads in favour of Blues. Blues did get more. In fact, I'll do them now because it just reflects on the fact that away from home, hard place to go. Huddersfield at the end of the day got a lot of history.
Yeah, well, their form as well. I mean, I know that they lost to Bolton, but
they're up there with us. They're looking to bounce straight back up to the Championship.
100%, yeah.
And I think we just did more than we had to do. So possession-wise, 53% to Blues, 47% to them. We had 9 total shots to their 7. 2 of ours on target, 1 for them. Now I've seen different stats to this somewhere else, but I'm just going to go with Skies. 385 passes for Blues, 335 for Huddersfield. That's different, that is. It's usually a lot more, isn't it? We're getting used to being...
promotion rival, like I say, you've got to give them credit.
Let's have a look. Fouls committed. They're not filling out all of them on the Sky. So, yellow cards, 2 apiece. I do think that the referee got it massively wrong. Adam Hertzeg with having that foul on Iwata underneath his nose, literally underneath his nose. I think he bottled it himself.
I mean, we've spoke about this a few times, haven't we? And we don't want to cover up old ground too much, but the refereeing in League One, it's just the standard's so poor.
Yeah, exactly. But moving on to the positives, the stat that counts, 49th minute, 1 goal, 2. Keshi Anderson won a goal. What do you remember about it? I just remember our heads hitting the ceiling when we were watching.
Yeah. I think, one thing that's cropped up in my mind since seeing it is I can't wait to see what they pick out for the goal of the season at the awards, because I tell you what, there's a few on there now. You got a Waters 2 that immediately just come to mind. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but against Wrexham and one against Bolton, both at home. Obviously, you got Keshi's yesterday. You got Jay Stansfield's against Barnsley. Scott Wright in that team goal against Shrewsbury. Lyndon Dykes again in the FA Cup. I mean, there's
some absolute scorchers, isn't there? But last night's the way. It seemed to linger in the air for ages, didn't it? And it's just like...
Yeah.
You're in there, you're trying to get... And then it bounces, he takes that touch on the chest.
Composure, technique.
And then he just puts his laces through it in such a way. He doesn't wallop it, he just connects so beautifully in that dip.
Yeah.
And the keeper's just there. And I was saying to you when we was watching the highlights, their defenders are just like...
Yeah, you see him turn around just watching it. Yeah.
And then the crowd, just hearing that crowd through the telly. We weren't there. We watched it on the TV. And it was just, like I say, we were just one of the best goals I've seen in a long time.
No, it was good.
And I was so pleased for him to get that.
Yeah, Keshi Anderson coming back from injury, and his form, it seems to have continued from before that, doesn't it? So, yeah, really happy for Keshi Anderson. Really glad that we got the 3 points. I think it was good value for it, and yeah, we topped it off with a really good goal. What could have been the cherry on the cake for me, and this is me being
another 4 on top.
Well, yeah. When Kieran Dowell came on and he had that chance, Bielik squared it for him.
That was,
and he didn't realise he had just a little bit more time. But do you know what? A little cameo from him and Hanley.
What do you think of him then? This new lad, Dowell?
They put it positive. I'll be totally honest. We didn't get too much of a look at them. They weren't on the pitch for too long. But no, decent. Good to get them a few minutes. From what I understand, Kieran Dowell hasn't been very fortunate at Rangers. He hasn't had much football under his belt of late. So to get him back out onto the grass and kicking a ball can only be a positive thing. I hope we see more of him. With the injuries that we picked up, I imagine that we might be seeing a bit more of him. Yes. Which is a bit of a shame, really, when you think about the Pakes, a Water now as well, which will be really significant for us. But, you know, we've spoke about that, and I suppose until we hear more news, we can just have our fingers crossed. But Rangers fans have been saying that they don't really rate this Dowell.
Oh, really?
But they've said it about all the players that we've had. They've said it about Ben Davies.
Have you spoke to your Rangers fan mate?
Yeah, I did. And interestingly enough, he actually went against the grain with Scott Wright and Ben Davies at the time and told us we had some real decent footballers on our hands. But with Kieran Dowell, he's actually glad that he's gone away. So it's quite fascinating. But
you know what? If anyone can get a tune out of him, it's
Chris Davis. Yeah. Well, it's a completely different team. It's a different competition. Of course, this is League One. We've got him until the end of the year, so we get to see exactly how well he fits in with the squad until we can commit to him, if that is even the plan at all.
Positive.
So, yeah, I don't think we've got anything to worry about. Hopefully, he can spur us on and kick on and get some good form with us, because from what I saw when he was at Nottingham Forest, he lit the league on fire. I think it was in the Championship a couple of years back. So hopefully we can get that same player.
That's it, and he's coming into a cracking squad of players, isn't it?
100%.
Cracking squad of players. There's a real good feeling around the Blues at the moment, isn't it? Top of the table, top of League One, still in a load of cups. Looks like we're going up this year, doesn't it? We're going up. Feels fantastic. We've got a great squad. Okay, we've got a couple of nasty injuries and that's it to get over. But I feel so positive. It's great to be a Blues fan at the moment, isn't it?
Apparently, this is the most amount of points any team has had at this point of the season in League One. What is it, 24 games played? We're on 60 points, something like that. Somewhere around
How many
there.
unbeaten now?
16, isn't it?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? It really is brilliant. I can't see. And there's still people just having a little bit of a jab as well.
It's just natural being a Blues fan, then.
I suppose so, yeah.
You think of what they've seen in the past, they're expecting it all to fall down.
Surely it should be the opposite way, though. It's like, wow, what I've seen, this is, it's amazing. But
you're frightened to jump on board with it, because as soon as it happens, we get a loss, and it just, told you. But no, it's great. Just enjoy the ride while we can. There's going to be those lows, but we keep right on.
Yeah, well said. Was there anything else that we wanted to talk about a little bit more?
Just looking forward now to got Rotherham home Saturday. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Hopefully a full crowd.
What are we planning for that? Are we going to do another
we
one of
weren't
these?
going to do a vlog. We've both work full time. This is a hobby for us, isn't it? So sorry if we've left a bit of a gap
I know it
in
is
between.
spotty, yeah.
But yeah, we weren't going to do a vlog, but we're going to do the vlog for the Rotherham game. So you'll see some action from us.
By the way, we've been very
Saturday.
fortunate. I do want to put this out there as well. We've been really fortunate. Each time we've done a vlog, we've actually managed to get the goals.
Oh, you've done it.
No, this is protecting us now in case we don't ever get them. Because I'm always thinking,
come Saturday, we're going to go. Yeah, there was a goal there, but we missed it.
Win 6-0, miss every goal.
We didn't get any.
Yeah.
Nah, so I'm looking forward to this every time we get. And it was only 1-0 yesterday, and then people it should have been more. But what a good win yesterday it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Felt on fire afterwards, I did.
I think I've gotten to that. I've been guilty of that, to be honest, where I've said, I should be doing this, should be scoring that. But no, I think making sure that we get the points. And now that we seem to be so well drilled in our defensive duties, and the clean sheets. How many clean sheets have we had now?
Yes, good point.
Whilst on this run, I don't know the numbers,
doing
but
very well.
Absolutely,
Unsung hero, Allsop.
I mean, think about who's got in front of him as well. Not to take away from Allsop, but come on. I mean, all of them as a unit, they've just been absolutely superb. So, with that being said, if we can go on the offensive and just nick that goal and get those 3 points, that's absolutely fine with me. I don't think that this is a division where we can play the football that we want to play. That fluid, fast-paced, silky-looking football. Not with the sort of opposition that we're against.
But we still show signs of it, though, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
It's there.
But that's
it's
why
there when we need it.
That's why I'm not so fussed anymore about nicking these results, because it's just the way that it's going to be ran. Especially, I mean, we spoke about it with the Iwata injury, the refereeing as well. We're not really very well looked after. So, most important thing in all of these games is that we get the 3 points and we make our way back up to the championship. And let's hope we do it in style by winning the division, which of course we don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to jinx it. Yeah, I'm not going to jinx it like I just did with the vlogs and the goals. Don't worry.
I think that's it then, isn't it? So,
I was just going to say, if we're not going to do a video for the Rotherham one, do we want to do predictions now for that game? They're 14th as it stands.
They are, aren't they? They're sort of averaging their way along, aren't they? No, we're going to convincingly. We're going to build on.
They've just beat Cambridge.
I don't care. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat them 3-0.
Really? You think
we're going to beat them 3-0. Clara's going to get a header off a corner.
Clara should have scored, actually.
Yeah,
just reminded me.
He's going to be really eager. I think Laird's going to nick another one because he keeps getting in there as well. And it's about time Alfie May got another one, isn't it? With an assist from Jay Stansfield in the 57th minute. Go on, what about you? Should have put £1 on that.
Well, I think I'd be hypocritical to say a big scoreline now after the big odd rant that I just said about how we're winning games. Rotherham haven't really done it, have they? They've come down from the Championship. You would have thought that they'd be spurred on by Steve Evans, who I think is still at the helm for Rotherham, but they just don't seem to have found their feet in the division so far. But with that being said, in the way that we play, I'm going to go for a good old-fashioned 1-0. I think we'll keep them out fairly comfortably, and I think we'll catch them. And who's going to score it? Jay Stansfield's been quiet for the last few games. It's about time. He's due, isn't he?
To be fair. Well, on balances, they're all due a goal, isn't they? So it could be 11-0. Even Allsop's going to get in on it.
Yeah. Right then, I think that draws us to a close. Yeah, let's close this one out. I'll let you sign them off.
Yeah, well, thanks for tuning in again, Blue Noses. Hopefully, we'll see you down at the Rotherham game. So we'll do a vlog. Keep right on. We'll put it out Saturday night as soon as we can, as soon as we get in. But hopefully, see you there from both of us. Take care.